And good morning, everybody. I'm Frank Spillers with Rural Community Solutions, where we help you as a community create family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people. Attract a type of person that you want and include the people that are living there. So if you have followed us, if you know anything about our business at Rural Community Solutions, we are very inclusive. We help communities include everybody. We want people to feel like they belong. I mean, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your community needs to be built on Maslow's theories. One, the very foundation, people need food, shelter, housing, food, shelter, and necessities of the life. What gives them life? The second one is a sense of safety that they feel like they don't have to worry. That quality, early care and education, so they don't have to worry about who's taking care of the kids. They need quality housing, so they feel safe and secure. They need quality policies, so they feel safe and secure within their community. They also need employment. They need income, and that can come from a business that they own. It can become from a side business that they're passionate about. It can become from work they are doing as a workforce within your community at a good wage, a fair wage that gives them a livable wage in their community, that they can have a work-life balance, enjoy their family, provide for their family in an income, in an economy, the way that they want to, and not have to work multiple jobs to get to feeling safe and secure and to supply their basic needs where they don't have time to enjoy it. And the third level is a sense of belonging. And that's where we're really looking at how a community creates that environment for the sense of belonging. And today's show is all about what you can do as an organization and what organizations can do to help bring in your marginalized citizens. You know, I'm gonna take voters, for example. Voters right now are very marginalized because some of them don't even think their vote counts. Some of them think that politicians or elected officials don't even know what their issues are. And the more we can get to those people and get people to talk to others, talk about the issues that are important to them. The shareable interests, we call it. And we work with the Kettering Foundation, and the shareable interests can be defined as in David Matthews, who is the CEO of the Kettering Foundation, said it like this: common ground often has to be created. Common ground is not just there. It just doesn't appear. It has to be created. There has to be a more creative integration of people's motivations to create new interests that didn't exist before. So you see, when we get together, when we get people together talking about their interests, not about their positions, but talking about their interests, digging deeper into their values, then they can see other people's interests are just like theirs, not any different, even though their position might be different. Right? There has to be the ability to integrate a variety of different interests to transform them into shareable interests. So everybody has different interests, right? Okay. And it could be that some of those interests aren't shared by a lot of people. However, when we talk about people's interests, not talk about their positions, when we talk about people's interests, we get down to what is important to them, what values do they hold, and we can move forward. We can build upon the commonality rather than the position. We can build upon the common interests of people, and then that's where we get that shareable interest. All right. And so when we're looking at shareable interests, one of the other things we have to start with is going out and asking some questions to a very diverse group, because a diverse group creates better data. So the more people that you can ask a certain set of questions, and we have a certain set of questions that we can ask people that are really pretty good, and they come to the point of where it's not about what position you have, it's what issues are affecting your family. What issues are you most concerned about as you're talking about your position? What really worries you as a family? What worries you as a family that you can move forward on this? I'm trying to plug in my computer. Hang on here. We'll get, okay, that should hopefully work. There we go. Okay, I appreciate your patience on that. So as we talk to a diverse group of people and we ask them certain questions of some questions, those questions then are collected, and then they're grouped together in a certain way that we can frame the issues. Now, issue frame is a pretty interesting process, because you get the people together that have that diverse interest group, and the organization together, a select few, not a select few, but people that are interested in this. You get them together, you start talking about these interests. What interests have commonalities? How can you bring all this data, how can you bring that down into certain type of data that you can talk about? And that is called an issue frame. There's issue frames out there that we have worked with on making ends meet. How is the economy? Economic development. What type of economic development do you want in your community? Immigration. What type of immigration policies should we have in this country? What's America's role in the world? We had a great conversation with students on that. Great perceptions, and a very good conversation around students and what they perceive. We have conversations and issue frames around what are your high school and middle school students thinking about your community? Do they belong in your community? And so when you get this data and you get the people, the people's interests into moving that down, you get that data, then we'll train. We train this, that fourth step or third step here is train a group of individuals that can then go back out into the region, because this is a regional process. This could be, 8, 10 counties wide. So we want people within those counties to go out there and door knock, ask these questions, and gather that data, and then we'll train people that are interested to go back out over the counties that were interviewed and have conversations around the data and around the interests that we have honed down in the training, in that data collection we've honed down. They can go out and they can talk about this in a civil dialogue fashion. We call it deliberative dialogue. You get in a circle, you get people in a circle, because circles are better than squares. Circles are better than a classroom style. Circles are better than a town hall meeting style where somebody's up on the stage and everybody's walking up to the microphone to ask a question. This is a conversation just like you would have at your kitchen table. We call this you're creating civic space. So everybody has civic space. A lot of communities have a library. We call that civic space because it's a neutral space where people feel safe. They can come and they can talk about issues and interests important to them. What do they value? And those are community dialogues. And based upon those community dialogues, certain things start to happen. One, a person feels heard. They feel that their interests have been heard and that somebody is interested in me and somebody shares the interest that I have. Then we can start to develop that strong future, a strong future to where people then have an interest in the future. They see themselves with common ground and they see themselves in a common vision where they can become involved. Right now, people don't see themselves in a common vision because they don't see what picture that is being created by leadership that they can be involved in. And so they become marginalized. And so as we look at regions that are doing this, as you look at your organization that is getting this done, there are certain steps. One is to first say, yes, we're going to be doing this. Second, there's a timeline. We'll say the timeline is starting in June, moving into July to go out and get your data. At the end of August, we'll have a training process to where we will hone in that data, train moderators, train recorders that will go back out during the fall time between September and the end of the year and have community dialogues around those issue frames. Those issues that are important to the people that live within those communities, within those counties. And when you can build that policy recommendation, when you can build that report based upon what people are saying, then you have community voice. You have people that will engage in the future. You will have people that will engage in voting on the people that will support their interests. Right now, a lot of the voters are saying those politicians and the elected officials don't represent my interests because they don't know what my interests are. They don't know what I'm going through. They don't know the struggles that I am having right now. Having these conversations gives the marginalized people a chance to talk about their struggles. So if you're interested in something like this, then let's get moving, because there's no time like the present. And as we come into a new campaign season, you want to get voters engaged. You want to get people engaged within your community. You want them to get engaged into selecting your mayor. You want them to get engaged with selecting your city council, your county supervisors, your county commissioners. You want to get them engaged to elect and to work with those officials in the community, that where we can have common ground and we can have a common vision and we can have a shared interest. We can have a shared vision of where is your community going? Where is that going, and how are these elected people going to help you get there? That's what a shared vision is. That's what common ground is. Is it easy to get there? No, it's not. Is it good work to do? Yes, it is, because people feel heard. People appreciate interests given to them when they feel heard. Thank you. You heard me. I feel heard. Let me participate more. And you will garner more participation in whatever process you're doing in your community, in your organization. You will see these folks coming to the table to help in a vision they help to create. So if you're interested, let's help you, and you can give me an email at frank@ghorizons.com or kim@ghorizons.com. We can talk about it. We can talk more about it, deeper about your organization and where we can go with that and how we can help. We'd be more happy to help you out. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Comment on this video on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. Share this with your group, share this with your organization, because that's how it's done. We've done this since about 1992, working with communities in rural America on the issues that are important to them. So I'm Frank Spillers with Rural Community Solutions, and I hope that you have a great week. We'll see you soon.